And welcome to a special episode of Riding Through the Unknown. I'm your host, Michael. And tonight's show is airing because there was a little bit of targeting going on
a little bit
Wednesday night, so we couldn't air, so we're making up the episode tonight for you all. And with me, I have the distinct honor and pleasure and blessing and everything nice, even a little sugar and spice, to introduce to you all in a different way than I normally introduce my guests, because there is something between us that we have talked about and have been
discovered. We discovered
back and forth and discovered we are actually twins through programs and star race and everything and lineage. And so we kind of jokingly refer to ourselves as the Wonder Twins. So if you hear us through the show talking about Wonder Twin powers and everything, we're actually being serious and we're just acknowledging our connection. And to share more about it, I'm going to turn it over to my awesome, amazing key to my memory.
Key to your memory.
The one, the only, Erica.
Thank you for having me. That was excessive. Thank you for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for being willing to come on.
So yeah, last Wednesday, I think it was the end of my targeting. I'm pretty sure it is. I've slept now for about 4 nights without any issues. But Wednesday, before our the podcast, I was in my I go to the hyperbaric chamber every day of the week to treat the infection that was caused by the thing that they put in my skull. And I'm in a hyperbaric chamber. You're locked in, like the plexiglass is this thick. You're locked in. You can't. If you needed to get out in an emergency, they have to spend 25 minutes to decompress you. And I was in there and something tried to beam me out of the chamber. And it caused a reaction to happen inside the chamber. And to me, I saw lights, plasma swirling inside. I had the lab tech and the doctors right on the other side of the glass when they were trying to they thought I had gone into cardiac arrest because all of my monitors went crazy. My heart rate was like 198. So they think I'm dying, but I'm in there and I'm seeing light, just like, and the funny thing, we're watching Star Trek, and we were laughing at it at the time. But yeah, that was really, really scary. And I thought it was going to happen the day before. I had asked you, can you please keep a lookout? But let me talk about how I know Michael.
This is an exciting story, actually.
No. It was so weird because when was our last podcast? In December?
We did one in December, and then I believe in February or March.
I don't even remember that one. I think I was too sick. But during the whole, I was so close to death. I probably had a few near-death experiences with this because I went septic, and it was bad. And I'm still very swollen right here. Pardon me, I can't speak. I'm very swollen. My counterpart, Jarrell, I was going through such a hard time. I was constantly in the hospital. I had so many IVs I had to change on myself at home. And he kept pushing me, call Michael. And I didn't understand that. And I kept saying, no, Jarrell, I don't want a relationship with this guy. And I thought that's what he meant. And I'm like, why do you keep pushing me? Why? What do you want? What do you want?
Wow, yeah. I should feel a little ouch to that.
No, I didn't know, because he was pushing me towards you. He's energetically, I would see a picture of you in my mind, and he would push me like, lean on Michael, lean on Michael, lean on Michael, lean on Michael. And when you're getting messages first and you don't really have like telepathy down yet, you can get things really mixed up. And I was really mixed up. I was really scared though. But, you answer the phone every day, every single time, and you help me through the hardest time in my life. And come to find out, we are both, royalty from the House of El, and that's who our souls are. Jarrell, the way he explained it to me, he called you his brother, and he called you my brother, like twin. But I didn't understand in like what relation, but it's the House of El, and now I understand it. Now, what are you gonna say?
Well, and the one thing that's interesting is, I think I've talked to Jarrell a couple of times, but
well, you guys send me the same exact clips of songs, which is just blows my mind. It's like something, he'll tell me something and I'll ignore him and I'll be like, no, I don't want to listen to you. And then I get a text from Michael saying the same thing. It's like, stop, guys, you're ganging up on me.
Can't escape the House of El.
Right. But seriously, it's not just something that it's not just something that, somebody told me that my soul is this. Michael has, I'm talking about you like you're not here. Sorry.
I'm enjoying it. I'm like, I've always wondered what I sound like in the third person, and I'm getting it right now.
But the thing is, I was always scared when I called you because I was getting targeted, right? Always scared, always getting attacks. You were witness to so much of that, so much of it. I think the very first one, I was on the phone with you, and a green and red laser came in and shined on me from somewhere, and I got really scared and called you. But yeah, I just kept getting pushed to lean on you, and then I find out we're related, and that made a lot of sense because I want to talk about how okay. So,
well, real quick though, what's interesting is a lot of people will recognize Jor-El's name from Superman, and there's no mistake in that. That we're not Kryptonian, but there is uniqueness to the storyline there that it is true. He is a scientist. He is lead counsel of things, and what I found the most interesting is I don't watch a lot of the Superman stories. I'm sorry, I just don't get into them, but I got into one, and they were talking about the symbol on the chest. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Man of Steel, where they said it's not an S, it's the symbol of hope. And I was talking with Erica. We were talking about being the House of L, and I said, I always will tell people the last thing I'll say to them is there's always hope. Don't give up hope. I'm a big proponent of hope.
Me too.
And I go, the House of L stands for hope. And Jor-El was like, yes, that's right, we do. And it's like things just started clicking. And I was like, that explains why I'm always like, I could be in anything and then don't give up hope. It's like, it's ingrained.
Explain that, though. You could be in anything. What does that mean?
So if I'm talking to somebody and they're feeling down about something, I will be able to help them see the potential of a brighter tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, there's hope.
That's what you did for me when I thought I wasn't going to live through this.
Yeah.
You gave me so much courage and hope.
It's like, no matter how dark, it's like, even for me, whenever I'm in my darkest moments, there's always this little thing that says, you still have hope, so there's still a tomorrow. And it's like, it's the one thing that it's like never has been ever taken from me.
Left you, yeah. It never left you.
It's like core ingrained, and it's like I understand it. And it's like because I always thought it was weird, why I would talk like that. And I just figured I was channeling something, and I just wrote it off.
Channeling your greater being, yeah.
And little did I know I was tapping into lineage and
who you are, who you really are. Yeah.
And so when Eric and I are talking about this, we are having conversations to where I will say something and she's like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking that. And she would ask me a question, and all suddenly I'm like, full access memory just downloads, and I just spill it. And she's like,
oh yeah, that's crazy.
You just confirmed everything I was thinking, and you said the same thing as...
You guys talk the same, you use the same reference points, you use the same verbiage. But what I wanted to explain is that you've also proven yourself as far as your abilities. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I think by now everybody knows how targeted I am. But what we started doing was, when things would get really bad, like what was it, about 2 weeks ago, even before the chamber thing happened, I had something like, it was like I'm thinking it was a directed energy weapon, completely blast me in my bed when I was sleeping. And that woke me up. And of course it hurt. It felt like I was electrocuted. And then something invisible grabbed me, and it was so painful. And I was lifted off the bed, and it was like I was in an energetic tug of war between this beam and this beam, and I felt like I was going to get ripped in half. So that stops. I land on the bed. My heart is just pounding. I'm so scared. You can't not be scared when you're, lifted off your bed by something invisible. But we made an agreement. My friend Michelle, the redhead, and Michael, we are able to now. You guys started it first, where you guys would. I don't know how you guys did this, but with your mind, you looked on me, and you were able to see what was around me and what was attacking me. And when you and Michelle focus, you guys were able to like buffer some of the attacks from me. But you've done that over and over and over. When I was really sick, I remember you would send calming energy, and immediately I would get this wave of warmth and calming, and I would even psychically make sure where it came from, and it was always coming from you. And I know that if you would try to do that for anybody else or anywhere else, I don't think it would work the same, because when we're together, you activate and you remember everything and you know what your abilities are. It's fascinating.
It is. And
to share that story about that building that we burned in the astral, and then I found that it was burned in the 3D.
And, we watch over each other, and it's one of the things that's kind of, in a way, I think makes Erica laugh sometimes is
everything.
She'll be sitting there, and she's like about to text me, and I'll message her, and I'll be like, hey, sending energy your way, and she's like,
right when I need it.
When
I need it.
And when
it's always when I'm crying or when I'm in so much pain, you're just there. Like, you just know.
Yeah, and
not that that's often. I don't cry all the time. Just on my podcast that I talk about.
Well, and one of the other things that's rather unique is there was one experience, I think it was a month or two ago, where we were talking and you were talking about being targeted, and this was before we knew our connection and everything, and I was like, and I said to you, hold on, and you're like, what are you doing? And all of a sudden, you were like, did you just start healing me?
Right.
And did you just shield me? And are you fighting off these people at the same time? And I was like, yeah, actually I am. And
but can you do that any other time? Have you done that any other time? Is it because it comes to you so easily?
It depends on the situation. If it's a friend of mine who's in trouble, I can be there fast and I can react. But I've never done healing and fighting and shielding at the same time. Yeah. That seems to only activate with you and Michelle. That I'll be put you guys in a bubble.
Michelle is also of the House of L. We learned something today, that our names aren't on accident. And you're Michael, E.L. She's Michelle. And she looked up my name, Erica. And she said, my name means, I wrote it down, sovereign leader, eternal sovereign being. That's crazy. Everything in our lives is for a reason. Every little detail in our lives is a clue to who we are. Everything.
Well, and
you keep freezing your screen.
I think it's because I don't move. I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I'm I just
can say that still.
I get still, and yeah, it looks like I'm frozen, but I'm really not.
Okay.
But one thing I was looking at was we talk about L and how our names end in L, like Mike L. That there's Gabriel, Uri L, Raphael,
I don't know. Are those
Uri
guys
L.
real?
And when you look at the names of the archangels, a lot of them end in L.
Oh, right. Elohim. It means angels. Basically, we took our wings off. I'm a
Yeah.
winged being. There's a lot of clients I know who are the same winged being. And you were saying, you were telling me that you can still feel where your wings would be. I can too. And I've been that way since I was little. Michelle too.
Yeah, we were talking beforehand. We were talking about winged, and I was like, I've always said to people, I think my shoulder blades were wings because they have like a protrusion out the back, like something's supposed to be attached,
Yeah,
but there's nothing there.
there's no accident in that. Very
And it's
cool.
like I can feel my shoulder blades
You can
protruding
feel
out of
the
my back.
energy. Yeah. It's an energy. You remember what it feels like. I wanted to talk about the story of when I had like 25 agents coming at me, like about 3. And it sounds crazy but this stuff really happens because of who I am as a soul, not who I am as a person. But we started practicing fighting back because these attacks were so often, and I was so sick. And really, when you go through these experiences, and I'm there's probably not a lot of people that could live through these, but these experiences leave you broken and physically just completely drained, and they keep coming at you until you're worn out and tired and you just don't want to fight anymore, and then they start draining you. And I couldn't afford that because I was already trying to get this infection gone and get stronger. But when was it? About 3 weeks ago, you and Michelle were doing guard around me because I call you guys up and I'm like, hey, they're after me. I need help now. Help. What you guys will do is focus your mind. Michelle is really good at eliminating dark energies and healing things instantly. I've never seen or met anyone with her level of talent in handling dark energies. She impresses the shit out of me. This is Michelle Portofrere. I'm probably saying your name wrong. I'm sorry, I can't say it right. My tongue is still swollen. Sorry. How do I say it? Can you say her name right?
Oh, let me look because I gotta see it. But yeah, I think I know how to pronounce it the right way.
She's
Let's
probably
see.
screaming at me through the thing right now, saying it the right way.
Here we go. It is Michelle Porto Friere.
There. See, I can't do that right now.
But
so
yeah, I'm sure she's going to tell us if we pronounced it right or not in the chat. She's probably watching right now. But one thing I wanted to hit on real quick, though, before going into the story was when we established that like we were connected, but we didn't know how, but we knew we were connected and we were thinking through programs.
Right. We didn't know. We just knew that there was something, because when he thinks that when Michael sends me any energy or it's real. It's not like, oh, sending you love and light. It's like whatever I need, he sends, and I feel it instantly. And he's proven himself over and over and over and over again. It's just not 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, but you had told me you were scared about going into the chamber, and I was like, oh, and everybody knows I made one AI video that I shared with everybody. Well, what you guys don't know is I made two for Erica, and they were specific into it showed traveling off world, doing stuff, being healed and coming back. And she was like,
I cried when you sent me that. It was an AI created video of someone who looked like me going into a med bed because I had to go into the hyperbaric chamber and it's so scary. I'm so claustrophobic. And he sent me this video with amazing music, and there's like these people in space going into a med bed and they're smiling and relaxed and they have support, and it meant so much and it helped me and I got through that day. Thank you for that.
yeah. And then I sent another one where you were like, yeah, I'm still feeling, and I can't watch it. And I was like, well, I'm in there. And I was like, that's all right, And it was us just on an adventure in space, just going. I think I was like going to Mars or something, and we were like going off world. And
Those
we
videos are
came
amazing.
back. And what was funny about this moment though is when I gave her the video and it ended with Mars. It was Mars because I remember our conversation after this was she goes, how did you know I was on Mars? And I was like, I was on Mars. And she goes, yeah, I know, but you buried something on Mars. And I was like, how'd you know I buried something on Mars? And she goes, I know what you buried on Mars, and I know where you buried it. And I was like, well, I know I buried something, but I didn't remember what planet it was, but I knew it was close because I can feel it. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's on Mars. And you operated on Mars. I was like, yeah. She goes, remember the shipyards of the decayed ships? I was like, yeah.
Be clear though, the ships from the Orion Wars, they looked like dragonflies.
Yeah.
They had two wings on each side, and they were what we used to fight when the Orion Wars were going on.
So on Mars, if you've seen the new Dune movie,
yes, exactly the same as the Dune, almost. Yeah,
those are the ships.
So there's this desert area. Now I have no idea. I think it would be southern hemisphere of Mars, towards the middle. It's hot there, but I remember walking with you. You're on my left side and you're dressed as a Jedi. And I remember you carrying the weight of the world on your heart, and the wars just broke you. You were done. You were done. And you had your you had like a lightsaber like this, but it was a lot longer, and the bottom part is like a machine. And you buried it, and you built I don't know how to pronounce this word, CAIRN. I can't say that. Yeah, it's a pile of rocks on it. And I asked you if you were ever going to go get it and do the work again, and you said no. I gave that thing up for a reason. And then I was talking to you like a month ago.
Well, no, you had said before that conversation, you were like, you were nudging me, going, "You're gonna get your sword back, right? You know you need to get your sword back." And I was like, no. And I was like, well, I'll consider it. And then a month ago is when this funny coincidence happens.
I said, do you remember we went and got it? We went and got it. And you're like, how'd you know?
No, well, actually what you said was, you got your sword, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, how'd you know? And you go, because we went and got it.
I took you.
Like,
I took you.
I was like, I finally went and got it.
Yeah. So, and it was
Right.
it was a big step in your life because you're taking back your power and you're claiming who you are in your sovereignty. Trying to
And it
talk right.
still worked after all these centuries. That was the cool part.
Well, time is different. It's only on Earth that time goes by. Like the time difference is the time dilation is so bizarre. It's hard to like make sense of, but yeah, it's every memory we have is shared. Not everyone, but like most of them. I can ask
Yeah.
Michael about a detail of anything that I remember from going upstairs and being out there in past lives, and he remembers it vividly. It's amazing.
And then what's funny is somebody else asked me the same question. I'm like, I have no idea.
Right.
It's
My
like,
mind isn't open right now. I can't remember.
I'm like, I don't have my key on me. It's like, and what's interesting is I hear a lot of the people in the program say, oh, when you get the key, and it'll unlock your memories, and, some people find it, some won't. And I always envisioned the key was like an object or something, or like an energy. I never thought of it as a person.
An
It's
embodied
so,
person.
it was like and then we had this really interesting conversation because she's like, it's so weird that you don't remember, but I do. And then I was talking to you about how in the programs there's always two, and they probably wipe the memory of one completely and semi wipe the other so that if they need to reactivate, they don't have to start from scratch. That the one that's wiped has their partner is the key to unlocking, so they don't have to start over, but you won't retain.
Can I add something to that? What
Yeah.
I've learned recently, the reason in my book, Girl Stolen, in that book, I remember everything that the Greys and the military and the reptilians did because there's something about my DNA and my energy that mind wipe technology starts breaking down in my energy field. It never worked for me. And I even have clients. I come in contact with clients. I mean, they don't remember as much as you do, but there's an energy that I give off. I don't know how this works, but it breaks that barrier. For an example, it puts a bubble around you because we have all these frequencies coming from the towers and the satellites and our computers and our phones, and I have a frequency. I can't describe it, an energy that breaks it. It just doesn't work. And that's what's so much fun about helping people, because I'm always like, I don't know what to tell this person. But as soon as I come in contact with my clients, things happen that I don't even expect is going to happen. It's really, really cool. And I love watching people wake up and come out of the spell. Oh my gosh, that's like amazing.
Yeah. And we actually have a funny message in the chat room for you. Hey, Laura says, I just noticed that my name doesn't show.
Oh, that's
Only
Michelle.
My channel name. Anyway, this is Michelle Porto Fieri, and
Which
you
I'm
two
not
can
saying it
pronounce
right.
it however you want.
Thank you.
You two rock.
Thank you. I want to talk about the building that I sent you the video of.
Oh yeah, this, and I saw it right away. I knew right away. She's like, you may have to watch it a couple times, and I was like, I saw it right the first shot.
Okay, so I'm gonna start the story. So it was one about, gosh, a month. I don't know, because I've been attacked so much this month. The attacks were just coming night after night because they were at an end. So they gave the one last hurrah to kill me, and then I've had 4 nights of no attacks, so knock on. I don't have any wood in here to knock on. So it was you and me, Michelle, and another woman. I had about 25. What were they? What is it called?
There weren't
They were
hybrids.
agents. They were agents.
They
These
were
were
NPCs, I think.
But okay, so we found them. They were in recliner chairs in a building, and they had learned to go out of their bodies and hurt people. What is that called? Like, I don't know what that's called. Anyways.
Well, they were astral out of body, but they were.
But some of them were physical, and I don't know. I guess they're trained that way by whatever agencies.
Yeah. I guess we could call them skippers, like, because they skip around the astral plane hunting people, but they're not
people.
Bounty hunters. Like,
and when they get really close to me, they do things like electrocute. They give me, they do things to make me hurt. Anyways, so it was you and me and Michelle, and I talk about not being afraid, but sometimes, like, when they gang up on me like that, I was scared. I called you guys. It was like middle of the night. That was the night none of us slept. You and Michelle, right away, you guys came in and gave me a little bit of room. Like, Michelle went after some, you went after some. I saw some start burning. I don't know if that was you or Michelle. But what happened after, because you guys were doing the protection detail, I was able to follow their energy signatures back to where their physical bodies were. And I found out that they were in a store on the main road that I live by. And I saw what building it was. And I'm not going to talk about what I did to them, but we went in, I followed them back through their energy signature, and I basically introduced myself and told them they won't ever have a chance to do this to me again. And then I, with you and Michelle, burned the building. Okay. This is in what I thought was astral, which I don't know how they attacked me, but last week, what was it, Monday, I was going to my hyperbaric chamber therapy, passed by a building, it was burned to the ground, and I sent you that video. That just blew me away. And like, we could focus our energy so well that what we did in the space happened in 3D. That just got me so excited. Like, what are we capable of? Like, if we can take out bad guys like this, and these people they don't have souls. They're not good people. They're not run by good people either.
But one thing too that I'll share that I did that night was, because I knew as many as there were, the best way to protect Erica was to bind her in a bubble of healing energy and move that bubble out of our time-space dimension.
I was invisible, yeah.
So she was in a pocket somewhere while we're doing all of this, and she can watch what we're doing, and she can interact.
Because I can't be as violent as you and Michelle are when you guys are taking people out. I can't do what you guys do. You guys are like next level. Like, where did that come from? That was violent.
Well, and it looks violent, but it's not always violent. And what was funny is there was I remember one of the first times that you and Michelle were dealing with something happening to you, and you were like, I need to call Michael. And she's like, well, who's Michael? And she goes, You'll figure this out. And I get the call and I answer, and you're like, yeah, we're trying to deal with something. And I said, I'll be right there. And before I even finish the sentence, I hear you saying to Michelle, stand down, that's Michael.
Right.
And she's like, holy hell, what the? And you were like,
and I want to describe like what Michelle can do. You need to like give people context. Describe how you guys do this. It's not in your imagination because the building burned. And
well, that part
I don't know. Is it in astral? You guys are able to connect with me.
Yeah,
and go after.
I don't know. I honestly I don't know how we did that, but apparently we did. But so how I operate is I have a like almost like you could say guardian watcher side to where I can call upon energies from source and protect people. And if an energy doesn't belong, I can move it to another dimension so that the person is safe, and wherever dimension they're in, they'll, take care of that. I don't make agreements with those people. I just say, here you go, have fun. But when we're in the astral plane, we are in energy forms, and so we can appear as werewolves if we want. We can appear as, like Erica said, I can appear as a Jedi. You can appear as a dragon. You can appear as
self. When you show up, when I see you, you have Jedi clothes on. That's the only thing I can describe from like Star Wars. You look like you're even wearing that long thing over your shoulders, like a cape, or I don't know what it's called.
Tunic.
Yeah, tunic.
But so I can tap into energies that are dormant within me, passed down from genetics. I can access energies from star DNA that's inside of me, so I can access all of that.
It's your greater self. It's your the biggest part of who you are.
And I grew up metaphysically in the metaphysical world to where I was taught energy flows and you connect to the energies. I didn't have anything telling me, don't do this, don't do that, you can't do this.
So, don't tell Michael not to do something. He'll do the opposite.
Oh, yeah. And I'll do it really well, too, so you'll know, not to... But, so, when first I showed myself to the people that were targeting Erica the first time, she was like, I don't know if you can help. And I was like, and I laughingly said, just wait. Because I go and I help my friends in the programs, the secret space programs, when they ask for it, and make like grandiose entrances that like you would see in a movie to where...
Are you talking about when you use your abilities?
No, this is just to appear. I'll just appear. Like I'll tunnels through rock and just to punch right through the rock and like brush it off like that was no big deal. Or I might just instantly appear right in front of them and be like, what's up? And kind of be looking over my shoulder, like sizing up what's going on and being like, so you need help? And it's like, I know, I can feel seeing them that they're all like, who is this guy? And how did he just do this?
How the hell did he just appear in front of me? Yeah.
And then I just turn around and I'm like, let's go. And I'm like right away, right in the middle of it, and opening dimensions faster than they can retaliate and
And
move them all.
this sounds like sci-fi, but it's real. And we're trying to share it, but I think we need to give more context. Like,
well, but how real this is, I have a place where only I know that's in a pocket of space on the astral plane where I actually regenerate after doing a lot of these missions because the body, so your physical body can't take what the astral body can do. So, like, if I'm zipping around and I go, say, to 5 different worlds in 13 different galaxies in a matter of an hour, my physical body is going to feel strained.
Right.
It's going to feel pressure. It's going to be hurting from the forces.
It's painful. Yeah.
And so I go and I regenerate my energy back to the energy of when I left. So when I re-enter my body, everything's good.
That's brilliant, actually.
Or if I watch animes and I watch sci-fi, and so there's an anime, Dragon Ball, where this race of warriors is every time they fight, they get stronger. And they live peacefully, but if you push them too far, they power up, take you down, and they grow in strength each fight, each time. And so I kind of feel like I have an idea from them. That ability. And what I'll do is if I'm like, for example, let's say, after that night of fending off the 25 targeters,
agents,
or agents, and I was like, man, I kind of feel like I kind of, beefed up my energy a little bit. I will go back to my place and go, okay, this is now my set base point. And so I'll regenerate to where I'm healed and, my wounds are taken care of and I come back, but my energy level's higher. And so next time when I go and I make myself seen, the energy is at that starting point now.
Oh, interesting.
So it levels up and I'm able to make that level up my new base point.
New baseline. And I want to know how that building burned down though. That's I want to know how
maybe Michelle knows. I don't know how we
need to really look into that because it's crazy. Okay. I want to share this with everybody. It's crazy that 3 people can see the same thing. I mean, if you're going to accuse of being fake, okay, 3 people seeing the same thing. I'm really in danger though. My heart's racing. Things happen when I'm targeted. Like I get physically injured. So it can't be that we're 3 imagining something because we're seeing the same thing from 3 different perspectives and we have all the details the same.
And the other thing is that you're leaving out is I'm in a different state than you. Yes, I'm in the same country, but I'm not in a state that's even adjacent to you. I'm like 2 or 3 states over. 2 states
and Michelle's over. In Brazil. Michelle's in Brazil.
Yeah. So
and she can be here in like a split second.
It's not like we're, in the neighborhood and we're all like, oh, we're all seeing the same thing. No, we are in completely different areas.
And you guys don't know, it's fascinating. And I really appreciate all your help. And I'm so glad that it's over now, finally.
And we have a question in the chat room, actually. My friend, Kitslihel, she wants to know, were you always able to do this, or was this a recent development?
Wasn't this a recent thing?
burning down the building was a recent thing. We don't know how we did that. We don't know. Honestly, that's new to us.
You have the video. I sent you the video, but we didn't think to put it up.
Well, and the video just shows the building in ash, so it's not like it shows it actually on fire.
It doesn't show what we did, yeah.
But here's the thing, though, too. I just was thinking about this is before I explain this, I'm going to answer Kids Like Hell, though, is we all have always been able to do this work, helping each other, but we didn't know how we were connected until recently. So that's a recent development. But we, Eric and I decided on this episode, we wanted to share with you all our connection because we wanted you to hear from us and our story of how it came about, our origin story, so to speak, of who we are to each other and what it means. And I think I understand. I think I just figured out the building because I remember in talking with someone in the space programs that time operates different. And so we could have gone to the building where they were there, and it could have been, say, 1990. And the building was, let's say, burnt down in 2023, 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. But we just noticed it was burnt down recently because we experienced being there. The program shows us in time of we can be in 1995, 2023, 2025, all at the same time, operating. And so we actually burnt that building down in the past.
Oh my gosh.
And just seeing it in the present to confirm, yes, we did that. So this attack, in actuality, could have been a past event. In the current moment.
Wait. I'm going to have to say something to that. The people that are attacking me are coming from the future and the past to get me now because all the ones in the now are gone. So that would make sense what you said. Maybe they were ones from the past. And that's fascinating. So you say this was all our imagination. But the exact same building that was burned. Like, it can't be.
And,
I tried to debunk everything because I was a paranormal investigator my whole life. So the first thing I do is make, like, when something paranormal happens, I'm like, I think of all the reasons that it could be, like, you're paranormal too.
Well, and I remember the one thing that made me think of that too was you had said you had been driving to your appointment and just happened to notice the building had burned down and was in ashes there. But let's be honest, a building burning down would have been on news. There would have been a lot of media around going, wait a minute, why is this building on the ground, been burnt to the ground? Nothing around it.
Nothing. There was nothing about it.
So it was nothing. It was old news that it was missing.
My gosh, that makes sense.
Or here's another theory too, and this is my L mind at work, so don't attack me for this theory, but we could have removed the building from our dimension to another one. And that's why it was never reported in the news, because we erased it from timeline. And so
that works. I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, you can.
Michelle knows about that. Erasing your energy signature. Is that what you mean? Like erasing the energy signature?
It's not erasing the energy signature. What I'm meaning is this building, so let's say it's been there for 20 years. So we go back 21 years to where they're just breaking ground on it, remove, the idea from people's minds to build this building so it never existed. So it would never make the news that the building disappeared, even though it was there. But then
I
it's
think it
gone
was, I
because
felt like it was not in the news because it was a cover up. It was a government building used for these like remote view psychic spy attacker people, because that's exactly what they were doing.
yeah,
Like
and
they were in dental chair recliners, you know, those zero gravity chairs.
yeah,
They were in those, and the lights were dim, and there was like a row of them, and they would change shifts, and then it was like, and they were military. There was an agency behind them, and they leave their body and they find me and they just mess with me. But you guys ended that so fast. I wonder in the programs what that's called, the remote spy, like psychic assassins. Yeah, psychic assassin. That's what they were.
And one thing is, I can't speak for Michelle, but Eric and I have SSP background, Secret Space Program background. And one of the things that's really interesting about the programs is we have the choice, even though they wipe our memories of everything that's been done to us, what we've done, where we've done it. Some people have that memories, some people get them back. But I have like muscle memory of doing things. And so I learned through my muscles, oh, I can do this.
Cellular memory.
I can do this. I can do that. And it's encoded in my DNA also of, having Pleiadian DNA. Okay, so, I can fly a ship, most likely. And I notice when I'm driving, it's like my hand will be like this, and I'll tilt it forward.
Yeah, like you
accelerate, tilt it back, kind of turn.
In the ships that the Galactic Federation uses, they have hand pads. You rest your hand on it and you fly it with your mind. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's like you have memories of that. And it's like your muscles are doing something and you don't know why. Well, once you start piecing together through DNA, memory, and looking at stuff, you can, like, example is for me watching sci-fi, people flying in space. It's like I could resonate with that, and I was like, this makes total sense. Watching Star Wars, I always was like, the Jedi path resonated to me, and I just thought, yeah, I'm just being one of those geekoids,
Right. When you have
people,
when you have cellular memory of something, your body never forgets, no matter what you go through in any lifetime. My cells know what my soul has been through since the beginning of my soul's journey. That's just, it's in us, and tapping into that is incredible.
And how Erica and I found the connection was true is, as much as she would ask me and I could fill in blanks, I could ask her and she would fill in blanks. So it was like a two-way street. And we're both feeling it, and it's like the body knows what's, it discerns what's real, what's not. It resonates, and it reads the resonance, and it's like, yes, we know this. And so it's like, oh, and your mind all suddenly will go, oh, well, that makes sense about this. And then all these things will start like mapping out, and you'll see this puzzle like start to go from being one piece to maybe the whole border is now in play. And you're like, okay, now I got to fill in the middle. Well, what about this? And what about that? Oh, well, now I have the picture of the sky
Right.
done.
And that's what's amazing about people like you and me and Michelle coming together and realizing we're the same, and each of us has a piece of the puzzle. And like you say something, it triggers me. I say something that triggers her, but we're all constantly discovering our new abilities. And well, let's see, like, and you and Michelle, you guys decide to take people out in a different way or to protect me in a different manner, and you just know. But if I would have asked you, like, if this happened, what would you do? You wouldn't know what to do. But when it comes down to it, when you have to do it, you just show up and know what to do. But you couldn't explain it if your life depended on it, because you don't have that access to it that easy.
Right. And admittingly, I kind of think the last couple of times that Michelle and I were watching over you and helping you, I kind of got the feeling like we were making a game out of it. Who's going to get
you guys, you had fun doing it.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, let's, and as much as like I will say, you know, we remove things non-violently, there are times that
we're at war. You have to.
They will leave us no other option, and I say we. I know Eric and I, from being in the programs, we were trained how to eliminate somebody to where they cannot be brought back
ever,
and
or
regenerated.
Michelle was in the programs too.
Then their body and their mind is no longer accessible to the program. It's like
so a dark entity
beyond repair.
Right. So no entity can take that body or take that avatar in any way.
Yeah, and so it's funny is the reason I say that is there was one night where Erica, I don't think Michelle was aware yet of what was going on.
No, I met her after I met you.
And Erica goes, Michael, these people won't stop targeting me. And I go, where? And I go, hold on. And she's like on the phone. And all of a sudden I hear this, what just happened?
No, I used the F word.
I said,
like, enough. Just happened.
And I go, what do you mean? She goes, it's like in a single instant, they just disappeared. And I was like,
they bolted. I'm like, what the hell did you just do?
And I go, but don't worry, they're not coming back. And she goes, oh, I know. I was leaving that part out. I saw what you did. And I was like, yeah. I didn't have a choice. And she goes, I know. You're good. You're still in the good.
When we're in the SSP, or I mean, when you're pulled into the SSP, you know, you're pulled in by like the CIA and bad guys and assholes and Dark Fleet. And they don't, with all the technology and all the madness they had, having access to human children and all that technology, they made us killers, assassins, monsters, killers. And that's another thing. What I want to say, that's another thing that it's in your cellular memory. For example, I'm nonviolent. Nonviolent. Like I can kill flies and mosquitoes because mosquitoes are from hell. But I lost my thought.
No doubt on that. Well, you're talking about your nonviolent except against mosquitoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. My aunties invited me when I moved here a year and a half ago. They're like, do you want to go shooting? And my whole body cringes, like, a gun, But I went. And so it's the first time I never held a gun. I never shot a gun. I can't even lift a gun. They're really heavy. At the time, I only weighed like 106. They handed me a Glock. I made the target every shot. They handed me a small handgun. I made the target every shot. They handed me a AK rifle. I made the target every time, no matter what distance. Explain that to me. That's cellular memory. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've never held a gun before. How am I a perfect shot?
So I laughingly cracked the joke of, because I tried archery and I suck at archery. I'm like, I must have skipped the Middle Ages.
You were not Robin Hood. You're a Jedi.
I was like, apparently I did not operate with the SSP during the Middle Ages.
You never used a bow.
The bow just is not my friend. Now a bow staff, that's different.
Did you cut the inside of your arm with the bowstring? You get a big welt right there.
Nope. I would fire and the arrow would go everywhere but the target.
Okay. So now you know what they did not use you for.
Yeah.
So people, this is how to get your SSP memories back. Go try different ways.
I'm like, swords, I got you covered. Spears, no doubt. And it's like, man.
Now watch what's going to happen.
Arrow, I'm like,
after me with arrows. Now they're going to come after me with bow and arrows because you said that out loud.
I know. I'm going to be like, Michelle, you're going to have to handle the arrow people.
Michelle will be all, oh, you guys suck. I'll take care of it myself.
But no. And Susan is asking, or is stating, she wants a certain avatar to stop coming back. There are ways to do that, to where we feel like, you can cut cords and cut all ties and contracts with them.
I did that with the people that before the building burned down. I did talk to them, but I cut the cords between them and me, the agency and me, and then I cut their cords between them and their bodies. And that's how I ended that.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something really quick because that was Susan Long, right?
That was.
I want to say something. Susan, hi. You had posted something the other day that had 2 giant panthers. I also have 2 giant panthers. Mine are the size of a house. Michelle has a panther, and she lets it go, and it takes stuff out in 3D. And I'm just curious to know if Susan uses her panthers to protect her. I'm asking her a question, and she's in the audience.
I don't know. I kind of think Susan would rely more on her dragon than her panther.
I'm just curious.
I do wonder if she uses her.
I want to say I'm finding with a lot of my clients, they're discovering just in the last few months that they all have some kind of, what's the word? Either not a dragon or some kind of powerful being that protects them, that works with them. It's amazing.
Yeah. We would call them cryptids, but here on the planet, but that's not what they're called over there. And I will say this, in the name of God, do not ever call your dragon or a wolf or a panther your pet. If they are, because they're able to stand on 2 feet and they will whoop you for that, because they are not a pet.
Did you get your butt kicked? I want to know. Tell the story.
No, I actually...
No, tell the story. How do you know?
So this is how the story went, is I was working a lifetime being the guardian of the veil, and I had this giant wolf with me. And we were like cohorts, like best of friends and everything. And somebody came through and was like kind of like being what we would consider rude here, but it's their cultural way. But he made the mistake of he goes to try and cross, and the wolf kind of put his paw in front of him and was like, "You're not going through this gate. You're gonna turn around and go back." And the guy looked at me and he goes, "You need to put your pet in order." And I looked at him and I said, and I went like this, and I went and shook my head, and he goes, "What?" I go,
"You're dead."
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that dude was flung across and was like, he was gone. I was like, I didn't do it. I'm not telling. I'm like, I have never said that. I'm like, pet was never a word I would ever use with them. But yeah, it was so funny because I was like, oh, I was like, dude, I can't help you. You're totally on your own with this one.
That's funny.
But yeah, yeah, I don't think I ever used the term pet for them because I don't even use pet for my dogs here in this world. I call them like my brother or a fur baby. I'm like, I never use the word pet.
I'm learning that through my readings. Oh, I'm hearing echo of my voice. I'm learning through the readings with people that some of their animals that they live with are actual like fragments of their Pleiadian family or fragments of their star family watching over them, and the same animal will reincarnate and reincarnate and reincarnate just to stay with the person, and yet the person thinks that I had one dog and then I had another dog. It's the same being. They're just, dogs don't live that long, so a lot of dogs I have a lot of pet clients. I said the word pet. I have a lot of I shouldn't have said that. I ain't helping you with that one. I treat animals anyways. I know how to heal an animal. I can tell you what's wrong with the animal, what they're feeling. But I've noticed I've had 3 different clients whose animals passed, and they told me, I'm not dead. I'm just going to get my new body. Tell my mom I'm just going to, like, I need to go find a new dog body and then I'll be right back. Like, don't, yeah. I'm not gone. You know, I'm not dead.
Yeah, and Michelle has a funny comment for you. She says, I bet they'll start attacking us with mosquitoes from now on. Swat them.
It's okay. I'm faster than the mosquitoes.
Oh, man. Actually, what's kind of funny is I have been known to, like, be able to swat a fly in, like, one swing with the fly swatter with my hand and catch it.
I can catch some mosquitoes and flies with just, I don't even have to focus. I know where they're, I grab them. I know, it's really creepy. Just grab them.
Yeah. Somebody loves your laugh.
Lily. I never say your name right either. I love you. She's so sweet.
Lister?
Yes. Ali. Her name is Lee. I say it wrong.
Lister?
Star.
Lister.
She's a very powerful person. Very powerful. You should actually have her on your show. She has a lot of information. If she would be brave enough, but I wouldn't put her at risk. She's goes, like,
Ali. Yep.
I always say it wrong. I'm sorry.
I just promise I'll do the best I can.
There you go.
Oh, but wow, we've been going at it for an hour and 15 minutes.
No way. I thought it was only been like 20 minutes. What'd she say? I can't read it.
She goes, no worries. We're all powerful though, and that's one of the things.
Yes, we are.
So, I was on a show yesterday, Walk in Faith, and it hasn't premiered yet, but one of the things that was interesting that came up was how we're being programmed to not stand in our power and not take care of ourselves and to put everybody else first. That we were always told,
Yeah,
if you stop
sacrifice.
to do yourself, you're being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I said, you look at the first doctors, the first three rules in order was physician, heal thyself, do no harm, and to take care of others.
Yeah,
And somehow in today's world, the first
we got it
two
backwards.
are gone. They don't equate anymore. And it's like, what happened? But we need to instead turn around and say, and I made this observation and I was kind of surprised because I recently took a flight to Florida for a conference. And who knew this flight would actually, prove to be a noteworthy, piece of evidence. So when you're on the plane and you get the safety briefing, what's the first thing they tell you to do when it comes to the air mask?
Put your mask on yourself first.
And then others.
Then save others. I just had a client today. She's like, literally sacrifices herself so that others feel better. She has the ability to take other people's pain, but what she wasn't doing was putting it down. I'm like, honey, you don't have to carry all that. You came here with an amazing ability. Let me just give you a little bit more. Put it down. You can take their pain. You can take their suffering. Don't carry it though. You can let it go. You don't have to carry it.
Yeah.
We are so brainwashed. Everything's been inverted. Everything.
Yeah.
You know how that saying, seeing is believing? That's not true. It's the opposite. Yeah. Believing is seeing.
Yeah, and some of you may be wondering why I'm grinning so big at her with that story was we had that story between us about you, Erica.
What?
A couple of weeks ago where you were sitting there saying, I'm feeling so tired and I have all this work to do and I have all these clients to do. And I go, and when was the last time you took a day for yourself? I don't have time for that. And I was like, really? And so
I can preach it, but I can't follow my own advice.
And I'm guilty of it too, is I will at times forget and I'll rush to do some stuff and then I'll get tired and be like, oh man, I messed up and
gotta take care of us.
Yeah, and so that's where even Michelle's saying yes.
I know. Today is supposed to be the day where I don't do anything and I self-care, and I've been working all day. So that's me. I promise I have to promise that I'm going to take care of myself better. I'm not used to it.
No, because we were told that was selfish, and it's not selfish. And it's like you look at the military and you look at the medics and you're like, the medics, don't go through as rigorous training and everything in certain fields, in certain branches. And you sit there and you're like, well, that's because they're weak. It's like, no, it's because they are in the field of making you better to go do your job. So they need to focus on that. And in order for them to do that job, they have to be in tip-top shape. So they can't be run down, ragged, and being like, oh, I got to take a
I
day
am right now.
going, to the sick bay and be like, yeah, I got to take a week off because my body is so worn out from training and everything. It's like, well, then that doc is no good to anybody.
Right.
So that's why their training is different. It's because they're trained to take care of themselves, to take care of the others. And that's why you'll see in combat, they're in the back of the lines and only come to the front when summoned, and they only come with the protective detail. They don't just walk up and go, hey,
Right.
you look like you got an injured shoulder there. Let me, take a look at that.
It's true.
And so
That's a good point.
it's, something that is really with this new world that we're coming into is, instead of instead of focusing on raising light and everything, because yes, that is important, let's raise our own view of ourselves
Self-love.
and taking care of
Self-love. Yeah.
ourselves.
Believing in ourselves.
Then that light will come with it.
If I could remove two things from all of humanity, I would remove the fear and the doubt and watch the entire world activate and come into their power. Once, all it takes, and you heard this in the Bible where they talk about a mustard seed of faith.
Right.
Well, a mustard seed of doubt, when you are trying to do something, is going to destroy what you're trying to do. If you believe in something 1,000%, just like what you and Michelle can do, anybody can do that if they believe in it 1,000%. Fully believing in themselves without fear. I can't wait until the whole world is like that.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Ali Star. No, I just butchered that name again. I'm so sorry. My mind has gone into several languages right now. I think Erica's triggered my memory.
What did she say?
Pronouncing different things, but she says, "No fear and love from your heart heals everything."
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are able to. So this was the other thing. We were talking about witches, and I said, witches got a bum rap because there were natural witches and there were negative witches. And negative witches are the ones who I laughingly said during her podcast show, I said, those are the ones who I would spell with a B over a W. And they're the ones that are all about themselves and willing to take and put somebody in harm's way to grow and better themselves in their mind's eye. And in actuality, it weakens them because they start to need fear in order to grow. And when people lose their fear, they have no power.
Exactly. That's why I find the manipulative people are the same way.
Yeah. And the white witches that were the nature witches were like the shamans, and they were like, if you got sick, they could look within 100 feet of where you were and say, here, take this, and you're totally fine. They knew how to heal you. And we've lost that ability of being able to heal us and heal ourselves with everything around us. And I actually...
that's back now. That's coming back.
Yeah. And there was actually a technique that my mom and I learned, and I think she probably doesn't remember it, but it was where we were taught with the body and our minds that if we're in a spot where there's no food around and no water around, we could just pull it in from the air and just breathe it in, and the body would start to feel like, oh, I ate. I'm not
You can
hungry
do that.
anymore.
You can do that. That is a mind over matter, and it actually works. But you don't just jump into doing that and like people all of a sudden coming to you. I'm going to be a breatharian. I'm going to just breathe, live off. You have to. It takes work, but that's possible. I think I just saw a video of a guy who doesn't eat, sleep, or drink or anything, but it took him a while to get there. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And by all means, we are not telling you to not
Right.
eat anything or not drink anything, or
That's what I was saying. It's a lot of work.
and we're not telling you to turn and fight, unless you're ready to. And by I mean ready, I mean
You have to
I
know.
honestly think, and this is just how I see it, is when I met Erica and we were talking about stuff, I get the feeling like she was hiding more than turning and fighting and standing on her own. And then I just showed up and I was like, I've been looking over my shoulder my entire life. So I'm used to, that kind of feeling, unfortunately, through other means. And so putting myself out there and turning and saying, like in the Matrix movie, turning and saying, I'm not running anymore, turning around and going, let's go. Come on.
That was something that they do, and I bet everybody has a memory in their childhood of being scared or having a bad dream that they were chased by something. That's the biggest thing they do to everybody. It's a MK Ultra. It's to get you to know fear.
Yeah.
They would give you scenarios where you're chased by whatever you're afraid of. That's what's chasing you.
And
that's the first thing that they break you with.
Yeah, and I think that was the moment where Erica was like, who are you? Because all of a sudden she's like, I had these people chasing me and you're not fleeing. You actually are standing and you're actually running towards them, if you were to say how I move is running. And I was like, yeah. And I like literally took on those people and moved them out of this time frame, out of this timeline.
So you're talking about the ones that turned into stones?
Oh no, I forgot about those. Oh yeah, that was that's a story for another day. That one was
day. Yeah. That's shocking. I was shocked that you did that.
I remember afterwards, she was like, what did you just do and how and why did you? And I was like,
you were always right. I was so taught to be scared and not face.
And
because I've been alone my whole life. I've been alone and people are after me, and physically people trying to kill me, and not having anyone, not even the police, to help me.
Yeah, and so we're all taught that until we break that program.
Right.
And I had, but I didn't, and I kind of go and find others and being like, hey, we don't have to operate alone anymore. And so I'm kind of like trying to raise awareness of, hey, we may be in operation mode, but we can call on people. We don't have to do our mission solo anymore.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm so grateful for you and Michelle. And Michelle said that same thing verbatim today. That's how these kind of instances is how I know you and Jarrell and Michelle and her husband Jorah, or husband or partner, we all say the same thing, the same sentence, and it'll be the same day. There's validation every day. It's not like a psychic just told you you're over the house of El. It's like you've had to prove it over and over and over and over and over, because I didn't believe it for months. You know what I mean? Like, because I like to vet every piece of information I get. I sit with it for a really long time until I know 1,000% that it's fact, and then I'll share it. I
Yeah,
won't just pop my mouth off.
what's funny now is, yeah, what I want to leave everybody with, because we're getting close to the time, is as much as Erica was the one who was like running and not staying her ground, she is now the one who is front and center and is like calling us in and saying, you go here, you go there, let's take out these targets. And she's like calling all the shots. She's like taking over almost. And she's like, yeah.
That's my name. My name means sovereign leader, eternal sovereign being, rich in honor. Isn't that amazing?
I know.
But thank you. I mean, thank you from who I am as a soul, as a sun, as a star, as a light. Thank you for your help and your abilities. That, I mean, it sounds like sci-fi when we talk about it, but I mean it. These things that happen to me are real, and I mean it. Like, I'll look out my window and there'll be an agent standing right there and they're coming at me, and I call Michael and he's like, I'll be there in 4 nanoseconds. And I see the guy running. I can't describe. This is real. It sounds crazy. I mean, we sound like we're in a fantasy land, but
which is part of the reason why we wanted to come forward and share this, is because we know, we were talking about it, and I was saying to Erica, I was like, you know, if somebody came out for us and spun it their way, we would not be able to own who we are, because everything would have a different optics than what we would want. And so I was like, well, I think it's time. And we talked it over with Jarrell, and it took some coercion, but he finally agreed. And so here we are. I know,
because if we would have come out sooner than this, I would have gotten attacked for talking about it. So,
yeah.
And we wouldn't have been able to have the video on, because they turn my computer off when I'm targeted.
Well, especially, and we also
when I'm talking about how to fight evil.
Yeah, and we also knew by declaring this that as much as I'm not on people's radar, after this episode,
you are now.
I'm on people's radars, and it's like I can't hide. It's like that's not in me. That's not my L side.
You can make yourself invisible, and I can't. So you can do that. Put yourself in
I have means of protecting myself, so, and those around me. But
if you guys hadn't held space and protected me for the last 2 months, you gave me time, because they are after me so much. I don't have time to rest and figure out who I am and what I need to do for me. They're on you. You don't sleep, because they come into the portal into my room and mess with me. But you guys have given me enough of a break to where I'm not afraid anymore. I'm like, I see what you and Michelle can do, and I'm like, then I can do that too. And then I'm like, and then everyone else can do it too,
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to butcher her name anymore tonight, but I'm going to call her Allie. She says, you both have a tribe behind you. We are warriors. Let's roll, baby.
Oh, I love her.
She's still got our attitude.
Yeah, she does.
She's sounds like fighter. Michelle and I.
She's a fighter. What did Michelle say?
3 hearts. And then Allie said, long overdue, Erica.
I know, right? She kept telling me not to be afraid, and I was so scared. When stuff like this happens, you just can't. Thank you so much for having me on. I really, really appreciate it. If anybody wants to find me, I'm at ericaamoreena.com. I'm working on a new website right now and a lot of new projects. I also want to say really quick, last night, Michelle and I attempted to make our very first YouTube video, and we got a visitor that showed up on screen. And so I want to just say that we're really excited. We're going to try to get that out on Michelle's channel by the end of the week. But
I haven't even seen it yet, so
no. And this was exciting. I mean, Jarrell and Joro said that they were going to help with our podcast. So we tried last night, had no idea what we were going to talk about. And then sure enough, I'm going to keep it a secret though. We had a guest show up. What did she say? I can't read it.
She says, we have each other's backs, always love you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As tradition with my shows, since it is technically my show, even though a couple of times it felt like it wasn't, all fairness, it was anticipated, but I just want to say, you know, I love how, as much as what we were talking about, and here I go, you know, it's the House of Hell, I can't get away from it, is we left everybody with hope. And that, you know, as much, and, you know, you look at our stories and what we've come through, and we're still here.
Yeah.
That shows you there's hope. That
always.
If we can pull through, you can pull through. And I don't mean that to sound egotistical.
No.
I mean it to sound
you're
as
falling
in,
for that. You're falling for that, feeling guilty for standing in your power. Don't.
no. Well, what
it's
I was
not ego. When you know who you are and you know your abilities, you just talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not you're not ego. I know you're not ego.
I know. You kind of jumped on my point. I was going to.
Because it's not your show, it's my show.
I know. I'm like, man, I can't even get a closing argument out.
Sorry. Okay, go.
I was saying is, seeing us go through what we did, we're the way showers. So we're showing you how you can go from being in a low point to a high point just by having hope. We done it. We did the test. We
really
did
and the fact
journey.
that I'm still alive is proof. Really, really. Thank you.
It's and the last thing is, and I know you know this, and I know I don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. My heart to your heart. Thank you for your service to humanity.
Thank you. No, I'm told I didn't want to cry. Turn it off. Thank you.
And I just want to go in full transparency mode because we talked about this being the Wonder Twin thing.
Yeah.
When we started this show, what you guys don't know is just as I hit live, I said Wonder Twin powers activated. Form of a great show.
Form of a great show.
We just were laughing, and so we really do that, people. We really will say to each other, "Hey, Wonder Twin sis or bro, hey, Wonder Twin powers activate." Like,
yeah,
Eric will go, Wonder Twin powers
we're not
activate.
forming as a bucket like the Wonder Twins. One of them formed as like a bucket of water. Like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't it be a bucket of water?
Yeah,
Do something
I
useful.
never understood their powers. I was like, I felt like Jade got so passed over and so like was like second thought because Jaina is always form of a plane or form of
I know, and he's
bird.
Always a useless
like,
bucket of water.
Water or a bucket of water or a sheet of ice. I'm like, really? Like, what was the point of that? I'm like,
I know. What are you gonna do?
And then what was even funnier is like they would be in base command and go, Wonder Twin powers activate. He's like, form of bucket of water. She's got to fly him now to the place where they're supposed to be. And it's like,
he's a bucket.
Really? You couldn't have waited till you were on site to, at least turn into the useless bucket of water to splash somebody with?
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's like I would always crack up when I would watch their episodes and be like,
Me too. I'm like,
dude,
why a
you just
bucket of
came
water?
at the wrong time. And then what was funny is they would have to get together and go, Wonder Twin powers deactivate to return to normal. And I'm like, the dude is like the sheet of ice. How do you know where his hand is to make the fist bump?
Oh my God, you're killing me.
And so we are going to leave you all with that laughter and that hope of a wonderful week ahead. And yeah, I can't think of a better way to end the show. I say we end it with that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody in the chat rooms. And thank you to everyone watching. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you all joining us for this wild and wacky Sunday night episode. And with that being said, here we go.
Push the button.